All right, we're now live and you're good to begin.
Good morning and welcome. Welcome to members of our awards committee. Claire, Lou, thank you for stepping in this morning for a meeting, and thank you for all who are viewing remotely. I'd like to share just a few notes to announce about conducting virtual meetings, as we always do. This meeting must comply with the requirements of the Open Meeting Act. Accordingly, Kentucky Board of Education members must ensure their video is streaming at all times and that you can be seen throughout the duration of the meeting. I think we have this down pat now. We are pros. Members, since there are only 3 of us on the committee, you do not have to mute your microphone when you're not talking. We do need to make sure that all discussions are broadcast to the public. For any items that require a vote, and there will be a couple of those, a roll call vote will be necessary to record the vote of each board member. And at that time, you know the routine. You simply state your name, pause, and I vote too. Please silence and turn off any other electronic devices that may cause disruption to your sound feed. And I think, Jennifer, we're ready for our first roll call.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Claire Batt.
Claire Batt, present.
Patrice McCrary.
Patrice McCrary, I am present.
And Lou Young.
This is Lou Young, and I am present.
Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Again, I appreciate you ladies being here. It's fabulous to see you. At this time, we've been called together to consider permanently changing the title of an annual Kentucky Board of Education award. It's the Kentucky Board of Education Priority Award. I suggest that at this time it would be most appropriate, most fitting to rename the award in recognition of Kevin Brown's time as interim commissioner for his service during this time period that has been trying at the very, very least. His service has exemplified the need to focus on strategic areas affecting our current educational needs during the midst of a pandemic. The proposed new name of the award would be the Kevin C. Brown Strategic Priority Award. And I have a great deal of pleasure making that recommendation. I would love to hear your thoughts. Any discussion, any possible revision?
This is Claire Batt, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think Kevin operated in a difficult time when it took someone with strategic planning to get us through it. He displayed that consistently throughout, but also he did it with a great deal of humanity in caring for others and their well-being. And I think that is the type of action and behavior that we would like to memorialize through this award. And I, for one, find it the perfect name.
Thank you, Claire.
This is Lou Young, and I agree and couldn't be more in support of this kind of change. I'm delighted and thankful to the team who brought that to our attention as an idea. I think it's fitting and timely, and I would be honored to make a motion that our committee recommend to the State Board of Ed that we change the name to the KBE Kevin C. Brown Priority Award.
All right, the Strategic Priority Award. Yes, thank you, Lou. Yes, we have a motion made.
And I'm happy to second.
There we go. All right, we're ready for a roll call.
Okay, Claire Batt.
Claire Batt votes yes.
Patrice McCrary.
Patrice McCrary votes yes.
And Lou Young.
This is Lou Young, and my vote is yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now next, our next step in this process, because this is a multiple step process for us. Next, now that we have the name of our award, I would like to amend the description of this award to include language that includes Kevin's time at the department, and then to explain the significance of why this award is being named after him, just to give some background information of the award. And this is the following description that I propose, and it's already been submitted to you in writing for your perusal. Kevin C. Brown served at the Kentucky Department of Education in various roles from 2004 to 2018. Most recently, Brown served as the Interim Commissioner of Education from December 2019 to September 2020. I'm sure it felt longer to him than that, but that is his time frame. Kevin Brown's time at the department throughout 2020 was marked with significant challenges that called for a strategic educational focus, leadership, and clear ongoing communication that was forward-looking, thinking, action-oriented, and aimed at advancing efforts to educate, feed, and support Kentucky's 650,000 students during a global pandemic. Anything you all would like to add to that description? We are very open to discussion on that.
I think it describes what he's done very well.
Agreed.
Yes. All right. So guess what? It's going to require a vote to amend the award. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the amendment of the award description for the Kevin Board of Education Kevin C. Brown Strategic Priority Award. Is there a motion for the change to this annual?
I'll make the motion to amend the description.
This is Lou Young, and I second that.
Okay. I like having two of you and the team that's rolling through on this.
We're very agreeable.
The partnership that's rolling here. All right. Now then, we have the name and we have the description. And our next step is I would like for the committee.
Have a roll call.
Chair McCrary, before we
Oh,
go.
I'm sorry. We got to have a roll call vote.
That's
Right,
right.
I apologize.
One last step. Don't take my role away, Patrice. I know it's only 3 of you, but I got
The 3
Okay.
of us are harder to handle.
That's
You know
right.
how I roll through these.
Okay, so time for a roll call vote. Claire Batt.
This is Claire Batt. I vote yes.
Thank you. Patrice McCrary
This is Patrice McCrary, and I vote yes.
and Lou Young.
This is Lou Young, and my vote is yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer, and thanks, ladies, for keeping me on track here. All right, step-by-step process, and our next step for this is I would like for the committee to consider the 2020 award topic. Now, this is the part that will change from time to time, our focus on the annual award. And so this is strictly for just the 2020 award. And in light of the current events, I bring forward the following recommendations, which have also been provided to you in writing for you to look at your leisure, if you have any leisure time now. This is how it's stated at this time, but I would love your input. The 2020 award seeks to recognize a person, group, organization, district, school, or post-secondary institution who through policy, practice, fundraising, or philanthropy, and despite any challenges, has made it a top priority to provide for the well-being of Kentucky students and to provide them with high-quality educational experiences. It's still a broad topic, but it focuses more on what has been taking place for us throughout this particular time frame. Discussion, revisions to the topic.
My apologies. This is Lou. Patrice, would you read the last part again.
Mhm.
I don't have the portal open. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Let me just kind of go through it because it's actually a sentence of run-on.
After all of the persons who policy, practice, fundraising, and philanthropy,
and despite any challenges, has made it a top priority to provide for the well-being of Kentucky students and to provide them with high-quality educational experiences.
thank you. And I had followed the evolution of that to a more broad statement in a time of twin pandemics, frankly, with social injustice and unrest, and of course the dominant pandemic of the coronavirus. So I like the breadth of it because I think it casts a wider net for potential nominees, but at the same time it captures the expansive nature of the challenges of 2020. We would be remiss if in 2020 we didn't recognize these kinds of heroic efforts for our Strategic Priority Award.
Right.
So that's one person's opinion in terms of the broadness of it, the breadth, sorry.
Right. And bearing in mind, we'll still create the criteria for it. This is just the overall, the bird's eye view of how it would be presented to the public. Claire, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, and I agree with Lou. I think we need to leave it broad because so much of the planning and the strategy that Kevin had to try to put into action covered such a wide range of areas. It went far beyond just the education of children, but included trying to keep them healthy and safe in their, as much as we could, in their homes. So I'm quite happy with the breadth of it.
I like that, the expanse of it. It goes from an individual all of the way to an organization. So people are not limited on whom they would like to consider having this award for them to be put under consideration.
And when you think how many people came together to be involved to support our students, I think we have to allow for that.
Right. Agreed. Flexibility has been our key. All right. I am going to need to entertain a motion to approve the topic of the 2020 Kentucky Board of Education Kevin C. Brown Strategic Priority Award. Is there a motion for approval of our topic?
I think it's my turn, and I so move.
And a second.
I will second that motion.
Okay, we need a roll call.
Okay, got it. Claire Batt.
Claire Batt votes yes.
Patrice McCrary.
Patrice McCrary votes yes.
And Lou Young.
This is Lou Young, and my vote is yes.
Claire, I'm going to make note for you. I think your video is frozen.
Well, that's what I just got a message. I'm not sure what to do.
We can still see your face. Not moving.
All right, hi.
And you don't look silly. You look fine.
No,
Okay, I'm glad I froze in an appropriate way.
Maybe if you turn your camera off and turn it back on real quickly. Let's see what happens. Okay, are you there? Have we totally lost you, Claire?
We might might have.
We get to keep looking at this nice picture of her, though.
I think, Todd, at this point, we just need to wait for her to rejoin.
Yeah, we'll
Is that correct? Okay.
we'll just break and wait for her to be able to rejoin.
Okay.
I think she'll probably get back with us quickly. Gives us a chance to sip on our coffee.
That's right.
Have any of you started drinking your pumpkin spice coffee yet?
PSL.
I have not started
Yeah.
yet, but
Told you,
I'm
Patrice, I'm in denial. I'm not ready for fall yet. I'm in denial.
The sooner we get to fall, the sooner we get to winter, the sooner we're past COVID, though, right?
Okay. Yes. That sounds like a good plan.
There we go.
where's that fast forward button when we need it? Have y'all decorated any fall type stuff in your house?
I got the Muse last weekend, so I have pumpkins and mums and wreath and that stuff. I don't go too all out, but the pool's still open because I love the sound of it.
Oh, yes.
We did close ours. Ours is closed, but I know, I agree. Just the sound and being able to go and sit by it. It's a little bit sad to look out the window and see the cover on it.
Mhm.
But my husband will have it open again in April.
We do too.
Yeah. He doesn't waste any time. We are, as a family, trying to determine what to do for the Thanksgiving holiday. That's going to be a challenge this year.
We'll probably keep it small.
Mm-hmm. We will too. And kind of the discussion is for everybody to get tested prior to it, just to keep everybody safe. It's going to be such a unique holiday.
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer, are we hearing anything from Claire?
Let me try calling her this way from Teams. Joette, can you call her on the phone and I'll call her via Teams?
And tell her we're really close to being finished.
Yes, almost there. Just need criteria and then we can adjourn.
Exactly. Who knew there would be so many steps?
I told you, Todd, he gets me every time. I tried.
I appreciate his thoroughness.
I do too. I'm just giving him a hard time. I would
So
be
this is
remiss if I
somehow
didn't.
Todd's fault?
Yes.
Man, Todd,
Todd.
I got your back, Todd.
Thank you, Lou. I appreciate that.
He has to stop being so good. He catches all these things.
He's thorough. He's thorough. Todd, my son is an attorney, and he's been an attorney since he was in 5th grade because because he's had that level of being thorough and he could argue me straight down into the ground.
Is he practicing in Kentucky?
He is an first-year assistant Commonwealth attorney
Okay, great.
in Hardin County.
Oh, okay. That's very close to where I grew up.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, I grew up in Meade County.
He's a Meade County kid.
Yeah.
I was in Meade County earlier in the school year and had not really driven through that area, and it was really beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Right on the river. It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. It was. I to go back and visit again. I wonder if she's having, I know it was streaming problems, but I wonder if just in general it's a connectivity issue.
Must be.
I just tried to add her on the fly, and she said that she's having trouble. It just won't let her connect.
Can she do it through her phone, I wonder?
Well, that's what I was trying to do, and it wasn't allowing her to connect. She said every time she'd hit the connect button, it just kick her back out.
Maybe she could dial in.
I have an idea. Let me see if I tried this last time. Yeah, she could dial in, or let me see if I can use this to use her phone number. Give me 1 sec. See if I remember how to do this.
This is a perfect example of what all of our educators across the country are facing right now.
Any given day.
At any given time. I have had the opportunity to be with some of my grandkids as they were going through virtual instruction, and one of them is a kindergartner, and when a screen freezes and a teacher is trying to say, look at this, difficult for a 5-year-old to keep their attention on it. So,
Yeah, and non-readers, you can't just say, find the button that says.
right.
Oh, it says, there she is.
Here we go.
So you're listed. Let's see, Jennifer, I think we were up to the correct.
Claire, can you hear us?
Claire, if you are trying to talk to us, you're on mute. Hopefully, you've got a connection now.
Todd, that was kind of like your golf announcer voice.
Oh, that's going to take a little while to get out of my head. The next time I hear you sharing something with us, Todd, you're going to have to throw a little rasp into your voice or something.
Smooth.
Interesting how she's showing up, but
I know. Andy or Megan, do you think Beth or Regina would be able to call her?
I wonder if the new Teams.
I'll send them a text. Hang on just a second.
Okay, because we also will need video. So she can call in via her phone. She'll just have to have her video on her phone, obviously displaying her face.
Or if we formally recess and then all of us go out of Teams and all of us come back in, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, since we are at a break and not discussing any business of the committee, Andy, you can stop the stream while we try to provide some technical assistance to Claire and get everyone rejoined in the meeting.
Okay, Megan will handle that.
Are you wanting to stop it or just put up like a break sign?
A break sign is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, do that, Megan.
And we are back. You're good to begin.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. Our issue has been resolved. We have Claire back with us, and we are in keeping with all of the guidelines that we need to follow during these virtual meetings. So thank you so much for the KBE team who worked so quickly and efficiently to get us back up and running. You are greatly appreciated. We are down to the final part of our discussion, and this is the need to establish criteria for this year's award. And to begin the conversation, I would like to propose the following, which has previously been provided to you in writing. The criteria for the award would include: 1, significant contributions that lead to improving or sustaining food service delivery, internet availability, innovative technology-based instruction, and/or other efforts to support the needs of schools, students, parents, and/or community members. 2, demonstrated leadership in measured efforts to meet the academic, social, or emotional needs of students during the time of a pandemic. And again, this is the criteria for this year's award. So pandemic would not always arise in the criteria.
Let's hope not.
Yes, yes. So any discussion, any possible revisions? This is where it gets down to very specifics on possibilities for applying for this award. Too broad, too focused? What do you think, ladies?
I still like it. I think that the breadth provides just a lot of different angles that we might not even be thinking about now. And hopefully will spark a lot of good nominations.
I particularly like that how broad it is. It when you go back to the description and as we've walked through the steps of it, the criteria that's listed here goes back to group, community, individual. I think it's very open-ended.
And I like that aspect of it because I think it really allows people to apply who might not have in other circumstances, and make the case for the actions they've taken to support our kids. So I'm very happy with the breadth of it.
Okay. All right.
Chair, before you make the motion or before you entertain the motion, would you mind reading the criteria just for the public one more time? Or
Certainly.
just for clarity, rather.
All right. Criteria for the award includes significant contributions that lead to improving or sustaining food service delivery, internet availability, innovative technology-based instruction, and/or other efforts to support the needs of schools, students, parents, and/or community members. Demonstrated leadership in measured efforts to meet the academic, social, or emotional needs of students during the time of a pandemic.
Thank you for asking for that reread. It does make me think of one thing. Sorry to be a little nitpicky, but if we could consider the use of the word families instead of parents, just to think about guardians and grandparents and other folks who provide direct in-home services to kids.
I like that.
I do too.
Much more inclusive. I like that. Okay. Any other considerations? All right, before we step to the motion, let me read it one more time with that change. Any other revisions, suggestions? Okay, I'm going to go with reading with the change. The criteria for the award include significant contributions that lead to improving or sustaining food service delivery, internet availability, innovative technology-based instruction, and or other efforts to support the needs of schools, students, families, and or community members. Demonstrated leadership in measured efforts to meet the academic, social, or emotional needs of students during the time of a pandemic. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the criteria for the 2020 Kentucky Board of Education Kevin C. Brown Strategic Priority Award. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion. This is Claire Batt, and I so move.
The second?
This is Lou Young. I second that motion.
Let's roll call it, Jennifer.
Okay, Claire Batt.
This is Claire Batt. I vote yes.
Patrice McCrary.
This is Patrice McCrary, and I vote yes.
And Lou Young.
This is Lou Young, and my vote is yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for your efforts on making this year's Strategic Priority Award so meaningful in light of the educational landscape facing Kentucky's educators, facing our students and our communities, our families. And now that we've approved the changes to this award, the next step will be to bring these recommendations before the full board in consideration of approval at its October 7th regular meeting. I would like to say I am very proud to have been a part of the change in the name, the title of this award, and setting up the criteria during one of the most challenging times the Commonwealth has seen in every area, but under this time and period within the world of education. And to rename it, honoring someone who has had such a key role on pulling us through all of these challenges at this time. So thank you for helping take part in all of that. At this time, I need a motion to adjourn.
This is Lou Young. So moved.
And this is Claire Batt. I'll second that.
One last roll call, Jennifer.
Okay, here we go. Claire Batt.
Claire Batt votes yes.
Patrice McCrary.
Patrice McCrary votes yes.
And Lou Young.
This is Lou Young, and my vote is yes.
Thank you, and thank you all.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.